Continuing to episode 5, the situation has now changed. Warabi declared war and everyone rushed into the school building. The school grounds appeared deserted, leaving only Nomura, Rin, and Mary behind. The building's doors were already closed. Warabi announced that the match was over. Nomura was surprised because there was only one match. Warabi confirmed it and now offered the promised prize, a stamp for Nomura. Warabi, still on the rooftop, said that now the door to the roof would open, and Nomura had to come there alone. Warabi also mentioned that it would be broadcast live. On each staircase to the roof, there would be Nico, Kinyu, and Tsunemi guarding each floor, plus they had guards with high levels. So their total forces were 34 people. This was the group of 34, Hanasaka, Warabi 34. The TV screen broadcasting the live event suddenly blurred. It turned out that Mary and Rin had already dealt with two people holding the camera and microphone. Of course, they were annoyed as they were always highlighted right where they wore the mawashi. Nomura said, "So now, the number of enemies is 32. Mary and Rin then told Nomura that it was a trap because they had already finished the previous match, so they didn't need to do anything more. Nomura said that since Warabi had invited him so earnestly, he would accept the invitation. Nomura wanted to save Masukodera and the others. If he stopped there, he wouldn't get Warabi's stamp. According to Nomura, Rin and Mary had no reason to fight anymore, so he would go to the roof alone. Rin and Mary then said that it was their duty to protect Nomura, so they would be with him. They also wanted to change clothes because it was impossible to do it while still wearing the washi. They changed clothes, and Nomura looked ready in his school uniform. While he waited for Rin and Mary, who were still changing in the closed classroom, they seemed to have difficulty taking off the mawashi they were wearing. Rin then asked how to remove it. With innocence, Nomura opened the classroom door, intending to teach Rin and Mary how to take off the mawashi. But as Nomura opened the door, Rin and Mary had already taken off their clothes. They were shocked to see Nomura walk in. In anger, they threw objects at Nomura, urging him to close his eyes and leave the room. After Nomura turned away from the classroom, he was immediately slapped by Nono and Shoka. Although they were still injured, they expressed their desire to go to the rooftop along with their older sisters. They wanted Nomura to convey their words to Mary and Rin. Nomura agreed to their request. The door to the rooftop opened, but what appeared there were Nono and Shoka, ready to confront their enemies. Elsewhere, after being informed by Nomura, Rin and Mary were surprised as they did not expect Nono and Shoka to do that. Panicking, Rin and Mary wanted to help them, but Nomura told them to trust their beloved younger sisters. Nono and Shoka were seen defeating the guards inside the building. Nomura also stated that it would be faster if they faced their boss directly, namely Warabi. Mary said it was impossible because there was only one way there, and the other doors were locked. Nomura then said that Mary's thinking was dull. He pointed to one of the doors in the building and said that if they could break that door, they could go directly to the rooftop. But before he could finish speaking, someone broke the door abruptly. They were shocked. A woman holding a sword suddenly emerged from behind the door and met them. She was Satori, one of the members of the Supreme Five Swords. Nomura thought Satori intentionally opened the way for them, but she said she had her own reasons. If Warabi continued like this, she would also be troubled. What they agreed upon was just the match. Besides that, she was free to choose. Nomura looked into Satori's eyes. He felt like he was looking into the eyes of a fish. Whether Satori was good or evil, Nomura didn't understand at all. Satori also told Nomura that she despised him. From the rooftop, Warabi saw some masked women untying Masukodera. Warabi said she did not expect them to act at this time. Suddenly, someone kicked the rooftop door until it broke, and it was Nomura, who immediately confronted Warabi. Nomura came with Rin and Mary. Warabi said she did not invite those women, but it seemed they had fallen for Nomura, so they came with him. Warabi also said that Rin and Mary were no longer worthy of the title of the Five Supreme Swords. Of course, Mary and Rin rejected the accusation. Their argument was interrupted by Nomura, who said that if he won the fight, Warabi and her troops had to wear mawashi and be broadcast on the school's main TV. Rin and Mary said they would not let Nomura act on his own. From behind the rooftop fence, Hugo entered the arena, ready to fight alongside Warabi. Nico, Kinyu, and Tsunemi were also running up the stairs to the rooftop. Mary walked towards the stairs, stating that she would be the one to face him. Hugo appeared very serious about the fight. Rin then said that Warabi was a coward for relying on a bear in the fight, while she could only attack from behind, using bear self-defense techniques. Nomura confidently stated that in this day and age, if you only seek the weaknesses of a bear, everyone would know. Nomura advanced to face Kubo. Kubo stood on both feet, ready to attack. Nomura then explained that when a bear is angry and standing, it would attack with its front legs, so all you need to do is dodge and ambush from behind. Just as he finished explaining this theory, Kubo suddenly landed a punch right on Nomura's face. Nomura fell to the ground due to the impact. Rin then said, "If you haven't practiced it yourself, don't trust the internet too much." On the stairs, Mary seemed to be mastering the fight, while Nico, Kinyu, and Tsunemi struggled to climb the stairs and pass through. On the rooftop, Nomura protested because what Kubo did was cheating. Warabi then explained that Kubo had been trained in boxing. Kubo attacked Nomura with the style of a boxer. Rin didn't stay idle. She began to attack Warabi with her sword. However, Warabi managed to dodge Rin's attacks, and instead, Rin was the one injured, bleeding from her shoulder. Rin held her shoulder and pulled something out of the wound, which turned out to be a sharp piece of metal. Warabi said that ninjutsu was also one of the skills of the Taisha school. Tsukuyo then explained that earlier, Warabi used her hidden shuriken to attack Rin's right shoulder. She then blocked Rin's sword attack, jumped, and slashed Rin's back. Rin said that Warabi's techniques were terrifying, like performing in a circus. They clashed swords again, engaging in attacks and blocks between them. Rin received more attacks on her clothes and face. Besides using her sword, Warabi also used her kicks. Rin retaliated with her kicking techniques. On the other side, Mary seemed to have cornered her opponent. Nomura, who was fighting Kubo, was also able to attack Kubo with his spirit bullet. Nomura realized that he had never used his spirit bullet technique so much in one day before. Nomura looked like he was retreating, holding his hand, but now he was stopped in the corner of the rooftop. Kubo seemed to be approaching him. Nico, Kinyu, and Tsunemi were seen working together to defeat Mary. Nico threw many bolts and small pieces of iron at Mary, and of course she couldn't deflect all those small objects with her sword. A piece of iron hit Mary's head, causing her to bleed. On the rooftop, Warabi began to question Rin, who was supposed to drive the enemies away from outside, but ended up following her, even protecting her with her sword. On the other side, Nomura, seeing Rin mentally affected, told her to focus on one thing. Nomura also encouraged Rin and Mary. Rin finally realized that all she needed to do now was to defeat the enemy in front of her. Seeing Nomura cornered, Warabi ordered Kubo to finish him off. However, Kubo seemed to ignore the order, just standing with his legs apart. Nomura knew that his spirit bullet attack had injured Kubo internally. Nomura then told Kubo that if he didn't want to attack, Nomura would be the one to attack him. Kubo then prepared for a punch, and Nomura, who had predicted Kubo's attack, extended his hand as if he was going to do the spirit bullet again. Kubo, feeling pain in his stomach, bent down to protect it. This was the moment Nomura had been waiting for. With full force, Nomura punched Kubo right in the face, and Kubo fell, defeated. On the stairs, Mary moved forward to attack her three opponents. They were surprised because they didn't expect Mary to engage in close combat. With her skills, Mary successfully incapacitated all three opponents at once. On the rooftop, Rin also advanced to attack Warabi with her sword. With this attack, she managed to make Warabi fall and defeat her. Tsukuyo, from a distance, analyzed Rin's attack. According to her, humans naturally avoid things that are dangerous to them, but when they face fear, choose to step forward, then their opponent will reflexively avoid the attack, and the strike will not land. It's called quick victory. Nano and Shuka finally reached the rooftop, thrilled that their beloved older sisters had defeated their enemies. Nomura then thanked Rin and Mary for helping him. Of course, this made Mary and Rin blush. Nomura then took the Mawashi available and asked Mary and Rin to help him put it on Warabi and everyone else. Rin and Mary were very surprised to hear this because it turned out Nomura was serious about it. They refused Nomura's request and chased him to teach him a lesson.